My name is Dave Sheehan, and I'm delighted to see that you're on this presentation entitled Discover Why Kangen is the Gold Standard in Water Ionisers. So, this is going to be a webinar that's 100% focused on Kangen and what it is, why one should have it, the benefits, comparison to competition, why I personally have invested in one myself, and why I recommend that you do too. So, if that isn't something you're interested in, then you're possibly on the wrong webinar. So just want to be clear about what we're covering on this webinar that you're watching right now. Just quickly on myself, who I am, because some of you will know who I am and some of you will not. My name is Dave Sheehan. I'm a high-performance coach, and I've spent the last 18 years working in the health and fitness and wellness industry. And the last couple of years especially, I've got into working with individuals and companies and athletes, to get that extra 10-20% out of themselves and become highly productive. And that's where, for myself, any kind of product, any kind of improvement one can add to their lifestyle, whether it be in the nutrition or whether it be in their mindset or in something that can make them more productive, I'm always interested. And especially coming from a fitness person from my background and an athletic background, I'm very interested in anything that matters in terms of people's health. And that's where Ionisers water was something that seriously interested me when I came across it. I've done marathons, I've done triathlons, I've been involved in many different events. I've bought into competitions, I'm a body product champion. I've done many different things. I put my body through it. And also I've run my own business for the last 18 years and gone through ups, downs, and all kinds of stages of business. So just want to give you a brief of me in case you don't know who I am. And I'll share throughout the presentation, as well as sharing about Kangen and what it is, and and why one should take this machine on board and invest in it. I'll also share bits about my own benefits of using the machine. So, just quickly want to share the benefits of water. Firstly, some of the key benefits of water. Water is one thing that has a huge impact in terms of fat loss. For everyone wants to look good, everyone wants to feel good, everyone wants to have energy, but we all want to have good self-image. And self-image does come down to how you look. You don't have to have a six-pack, you just have to, look good for what looks good for you. And that's something I want to stress for you. And for a lot of people who are carrying around toxins and retaining water, and a lot of that is down to the water you're drinking. So in terms of even for fat loss, water has a massive impact in terms of it curbs hunger, it makes you feel full, it reduces sugary drinks, it boosts your metabolism. It is the transport mechanism for all your nutrients and for any supplements that you're taking. And that was one big thing for me, that in terms of the supplements I was taking, and I used to invest 100, 150 euros a week in supplements before, they weren't getting utilized properly in my body. And I'm sure you're taking some form of supplement. Most people are these days. It's a huge industry. You're not getting the maximum from it. Most of the time it's expensive urine, especially if it's chemical-based supplements versus whole food-based supplements. Also, water is huge from a detox effect as well. It makes a huge difference to get the toxins again out of your system. Otherwise, they're staying in your system and they're curbing the positives that could be going on in your body. Your body isn't working at its optimum when it's got toxins inside it. So that's some of the fat benefits. Of course, you've got the benefits on, from your mental function, like your brain is 83% water. You've got it just in terms of general hydration, makes your body function better, your sleep will be better, your energy will be better, and it will help a lot in terms of disease prevention and disease as well. We won't go into too much detail on those things because today we're speaking specifically about Kangen. I do hold other webinars specifically on health. But I just want to touch a little bit on that before moving on. So I promise you after this presentation is basically that you're going to understand why Kangen, which is created by Enagic, that's the company name, is a credible company. You will understand the many uses of the Kangen water ionizer. You will also understand many benefits that come from drinking and using alkaline ionized water, in particular from the Kangen machine. And you will understand why Kangen is actually the gold standard of water ionizers and how it stands out head and shoulders above the competition. And this is something I looked at a lot when I was approached first about alkaline ionizers. It's like everything, like every health product. There's so many of them out there. How do you know which is the best? And everyone's saying it's the best. But what you need to look at is, look at the company, number one. Look at parts it's made. Look at how it's manufactured. Look at people who are using testimonials. Do your research into it. That's what's really important. And that's some of the information I want to share with you on this presentation. You can have a better grasp of Kangen itself. And hopefully I save you from wasting your hard-earned money by investing in a substandard water ionizer, which there are many of them out there, some of which I'll mention during this presentation. So in terms of water, again, what it does, I've shared some of the other benefits. You can see the many benefits to the body, okay? So we look even here down the bottom right, You know, how efficient water moves in and out into trillions of cells in one's body, and the creation of AP as a byproduct of such movement defines one's overall energy level at any point in time. You also look at, as I said, in terms of for your brain. Your brain is 83% water, 85% water in and around there. Also, the brain does not store water. So if you don't store water, then you have to be keeping yourself hydrated. Your body is about 75% water. It helps water that helps prevent constipation, combat cellular inflammation and body stress. You see here, it moistens the air of one's lungs. Like, there's many, many benefits. Okay, I'm not going to go deep into this because again, it's another kind of webinar. And also, you know, you might think water is water, and this is exactly what I thought when I was first approached by alkalinized water. So water is water. Here's just another gimmick, another machine that supposedly is a miracle cure for this and that, and it's another must-have. So I was super skeptical when I was approached first about ionisers and also about Kangen itself specifically, because I thought water is water. And, you know, we all use these different types of waters. We used to use Brita filters in my parents' house. That's this one here. We also then in my own personal house since we, you know, for many, many years. And it was through doing tests, which I'll show you later on in the webinar, different tests to show how efficient and whether the water is aging you or whether it's benefiting you, or whether it's making you happy. Like the Brita filter in the jug. And the same with things like reverse osmosis, tap water, river rock, Evian, you know, your American waters, your Australian waters. There's so many different waters out there. Water is not water. Take any of these bottled waters. For many of them, they've been in the bottle for 2 years. Now, what kind of quality water do you think is there after 2 years? Plus, what people don't realize is the plastic has been seeping into it. You've got the chemicals from the plastic in that water as well that you're drinking. So not only is it acidic, but you're taking in all these chemicals as well, plastic chemicals. And all these other types of waters, distilled and reverse osmosis and filtered, they are not what they seem. Water is not water. And we have some tests that we have used to prove it, which again I needed to see to believe that the Kangen unit was what they were telling me. This is what I'm saying in terms of for people to look into these things, and in this webinar I'm hoping to fast track your knowledge of Kangen so you can make a good informed decision and make a wise investment. So Kangen water, this is the machine that I invested in, and I invested in it now it's about 12 months, and it has without doubt been the best investment I've ever made in both myself and my family ever. And I've made huge investments in myself and my family and fun over the years, hundreds of thousands, especially by business and ongoing education and products and supplements and everything. And this is without doubt being the best. And by the end of the presentation, you'll see why. This is much more than just a water ionizer. This isn't just about drinking water. It has many, many, many benefits. If you look at the aging process, we all accept the aging process. It's just being part of life. It's just something that happens. You see here like this little girl, then you got she becomes an adult, and then here she maybe is, we'll say, 60, 70, 80. You know, it's a typical thing. It's a wrinkle, and we accept it, okay? However, this doesn't have to be the case, and this is a sign of dehydration, okay? It's not just aging. Aging, what shows on the outside is all about what is going on in the inside of your body, okay? So what you put into your body in terms of nutrition and also water determines how you look on the outside. That's why you can have some 70-year-olds who actually look like 30 or 40-year-olds, and you've got 30, 40-year-olds who actually look like they're probably 60 or 70. Here's an example for you. You know, if you look at these two guys here, right, they're actually on the stage at the exact same time of the conference. Now, in terms of what ages you would guess these people are, what ages would you guess them to be? Just type into the question box what age you think the guy on the left is, what age you think the guy on the right is, and then I'll reveal the answer. So what age would you expect these guys to be? Okay, 45 and 70, 40, 65, 30 and 70. Okay, this guy on the left would have a big ego. Listen to all of these numbers. 50 and 70. Okay, so we're getting lots of answers around 70, 65, 75 or so for the guy on the right. The guy on the left were edging in around 30 to 45, 50 maximum. Okay. Well, the actual ages of these guys is they're actually both the same age. They actually went to school together and college together. They're 70 years of age. Now, the guy on the right would be your typical 70 years of age in terms of how our impression is of how a 70-year-old would. The guy on the left certainly doesn't fit that bill. This is Mr. Oshiro, who is actually the Enetic CEO and founder. He's the one who has made this wonderful machine, the Kangen unit, available to the general public. So he deserves so much credit for it because it's a wonderful machine and it's changing the lives of thousands and thousands of people all over the world. But again, it's quite the difference in the age of these guys, okay, or the difference in what you perceive the age would be. But this is the benefit of what you put into your body and what it should on the outside, and especially hydration, because we actually guide dehydration. And when you're a baby, you're 90% water. When you're an adult, it's usually about 70, 75. When a person is in elder age and dies, usually about 50%. So actually dying because of dehydration. And most disease is down to dehydration. That's what's letting the disease in. Whereas if you stay really hydrated, it's very hard for you to get any of these diseases. Now, we have a totally different health approach in the Western world to what they have in the East. In the Western world, it's all about treating and giving medications for everything and using radiotherapy and chemotherapy and surgeries that are going to just give temporary relief. It's not about long term, and it's not about prevention at all. We don't focus on prevention. We don't educate people on prevention. In the East, they focus on prevention, and that's why they have the smallest numbers of cancer rates per population, diabetes, heart disease, every single one of the diseases. They have this lowest rate per capita, if that's the right word for it, per population. So there's no coincidence that their nutrition is completely different, their hydration is completely different. Alkalinized water, that is where it started. It's in the East, it's in Japan. This is where this machine comes from. They've been doing this for a long time, and it's no coincidence that they have these rates. Now, as there's become more of a Western influence, you see, especially in the food, that's where these rates are coming up. So you can see again what you're putting into your body determines a lot of what goes on the outside. But we need to start focusing on prevention instead of these treating systems we do in the Western. Here's a bit of information on the company. So it's founded in 1974 by Mr. Oshiro, founded in Japan. It's debt-free, privately held company. So that's really important. So remember I said about the company was one thing that I personally look at for whenever I'm approaching any products. So that's a sign that the company, is self-financed and it's successful as well. Obviously, that's a big sign of it. Also, it's a medical device. So being a medical device is huge. And I'll show you a slide shortly in terms of what shows that, more credibility. And that's where it started as a medical device. And then September 2004, they decided to make a home unit. And 2008 then it got established in Germany, and products been shipped from Germany, and now they're all over America and Australia. And pretty much everywhere in the world now there's Kangen machine units being sold and in people's homes, and it's growing at a rapid rate because the results are incredible. Also, there's quality control awards and tested and certified water quality awards. They've won many awards on an ongoing basis over the last number of years because again it is the gold standard. And if you look at this is the whole medical side. So it's a licensed medical device in Japan, and it's endorsed by the largest medical organization in Japan. It's 6,500 doctors of the Japanese Association of Preventative Medicine for Adult Diseases, and hospitals in Japan use the 2.5 water to sanitize equipment, clean surfaces, and it's used for topical wounds care and various skin conditions, eczema, psoriasis, acne, and so on. And this is where the idea for the machine came about, because people, when they left the hospital after being treated with it, they came and they wanted to take some home. So they used to have massive queues of people, former patients, and their friends and so on, queuing up to get the water from the units that were in the hospital. So this is where they got the idea, let's make a home-based unit instead. That's literally where it came from. Now let's go through some of the properties of the machine and what the machine does. So a big one is the antioxidation side of things. Okay, now when you cut an apple, you see the image here. You cut an apple, not very long after, usually even 30 seconds to a minute, it starts to rot, starts to go off. It's losing its antioxidants. It's starting to age. Okay, that's what's happening. So the aging process. So this is what's happening. You cut it. So we need to focus in terms of our bodies and our aging. And you saw the image of Mr. Oshiro compared to the guy, who was on the stage with him. You can see the difference in how they looked. You can see the difference in like the girl to when she became a woman, when she became an older lady. You can see the difference in how she looked during the process. So it's aging. It's because we're oxidizing. Okay, and this is something we can prevent. This is why antioxidants have become such a big buzzword, because we need to get more antioxidants in to combat the free radicals. And the people who live the healthiest, like there's people who are out there and they're running marathons, doing triathlons and Ironmans and all kinds of stuff, and they're 15, 16 years of age. And if other 15, 16 years of years of age people, and they can barely move. And they've got every kind of disease and ailment under the sun. So again, it's a lot again to what you're doing with your body. We need to flood our body with antioxidants. So ORP, this oxygen reduction potential, and it's used, you use a machine, ORP meter, to measure it, okay? So when you're measuring, this is how you measure the oxidation of various things, the water. So you want the minus. A minus basically is showing that it's, it's energizing your body, it's not aging your body. If it's got a positive, it is aging your body, and there's cellular degeneration going on. So the more of a plus, the more bad it is. The more of a minus, the better it is, okay? So if you look at this, this is the result of some of the tests we've done. When we do demos and seminars and we go to people's homes, we do this and we show people this right in front of their eyes. So this is a slide just to give you an image of it. So when we test Coke, for instance, we're getting a plus 300, plus 400. Lucozade Sport, Gatorade will come in around the same, 7-Up, Sprite. Then you've got your bottled waters, always coming in around the 200 to 250 mark. These are meant to be good for you. They're coming in around 200 to 250, so they're causing aging. Now, if you go for the Kangen water, you've got minus 350. Sometimes it's minus 450 or even 500 I've seen before. It's antioxidants are being flooded into your body. It's reversing the aging process. Okay, this is where the hydration is so important. This is where those who stay really well hydrated with proper alkaline ionized water always look much younger than they actually are chronologically. Same with other waters, reverse osmosis, purified, distilled, well water, tap water. They all come in at 200, 300. So we've come across some tap waters that come in at 300, 400 because they're so bad, there's so much chemicals inside them that they're causing terrible cellular degeneration and aging. pH, this is another test. Again, we do this when we meet people, so this might be something that might interest you at some stage. But here's the test that we have. And if you look at the different things, again, there's different waters, and then things like Coke and Sprite and Kangen. So you see the pH chart. If you're not familiar with pH, we want ideally have a pH of around 7, 7.2, and around that's the ideal pH for us to have. When you got down here red, that's super acidic. Okay, so you've got pH like green, blue, and then going to purple. Purple, like that's where you want to be. That's like high pH, okay, around 9 and so on. So if you go here to different waters, look how acidic these things are. Look how acidic the Coke is, Sprite, all different kinds of popular waters. You can put any water there, they're going to have the same. Tap water, again, will be very acidic. But what will happen to tap water is it will actually show, around the greeny, bluey, because there's chemicals put in. For regulations, water cannot come out of your tap unless it's got a pH of 7. But the thing is, there's lots of chemicals put in to make that. So the water coming out, it might have the pH of 7 coming out, but it's full of chemicals, full of harmful agents that your body, you don't want to be putting into your body, and full of fluoride and chlorine and everything else. And some areas are worse than others. So this, as I said, is another test to show, another huge benefit of the Kangen, that it has a very high pH. You've got drinking waters at 8.5, 9, or 9.5. So it's really alkaline, and the more alkaline you can stay, the healthier your body will be. So it's very important for you to stay as alkaline as you possibly can. That's something that's very important. So the alkaline lifestyle is something that has become more and more popular over the last few years, and there's good reason for it, because the more alkaline your body is, the less chance you have of disease getting in. Like, disease cannot survive in an alkaline-based body, whereas if your body is very acidic, it thrives. Okay, alkalinity or acidity means your body is going to thrive, and that's not what you want to have. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. Okay, so another property is the microclusterings. Again, these are all specifically, the benefits of the Kangen machine and why it's so powerful and what it does. Microclustering basically means the different, clusters of molecular structures in the water. And normal water, this is why we find it very hard to drink. And most of the time, people drink water because they know it's good for them versus wanting to drink the water. Okay, and it's hard to drink, it's hard to go down, and you'd never think of throwing back a few glasses. Usually people will have a glass, they take a mouthful, they let it down, take a mouthful, let it down. Difference with the Kangen water is you will actually drink it back in glass after glass. And this is what amazes people when they experience it. I look forward to when you first experience the Kangen water for yourself. But I, every morning, for instance, take 3 glasses, decent-sized glasses of water, and just throw them down. And every so often throughout the day, I'll throw in 2 or 3 glasses at a go. I could never do that before. 1 glass even was a struggle to get into my system. Now I have, as I said, 2 or 3 at a go every time. and I consume about 6 litres of water every day. And the athletes that I would have using these products, and that I know of using these products, it's making such a difference in their cellular rejuvenation and their recovery from injury, their recovery from training, and their overall performance in the field or in their sport. And if you have injuries or ailments, the recovery you get is absolutely amazing from using the water. So you can see here it results in better hydration, absorption of essential nutrients. So remember I said earlier about the importance of water for transporting the nutrients from both food and also your nutritional supplements. This again is where the Kangen water helps so much, because it absorbs the nutrients into your bloodstream in your body much, much faster. So it makes a huge difference again to the impact of them on your body as a whole. You get increased energy, you get softer skin. Remember, it shows on the outside what's going on the inside. If your body is getting lots of water, and that water is penetrating into your body and absorbing better, it's going to show on the outside because your body is really well hydrated. And also the toxins get out of your body a lot faster. That's why when people get bursts, they get a detox effect, they get a cleansing effect, okay? Because it's getting toxins out of your body that water never could do before, because the water wasn't being properly absorbed into your body. Whereas with the Kangen water, because of the microclustering structure of it, it actually clears it out of your system really fast within the first few days. And that was one thing that really sold it to me pretty much, is the impact of the water on me from a detox point of view. And I'd be someone that would lead a very, very healthy life, and I'm always looking at ways to improve it, and I would have drank a reasonable amount of water before that. Yet I had a severe detox, most likely from things like stress, and also from the chemical-based supplements I used for many, many years. When I was doing bodybuilding and first got into endurance, I started using whole food supplements only. But when I was using chemical-based supplements, this is probably the first time it got out of my system. Okay, so it makes a huge difference from a microclustering point of view. Now, it produces 7 different types of water. So that's explained to the company and the person who created the company, and some of the different benefits and so on, and what separates it as a machine, what it actually does. So in terms of the ORP, so the acidity, in terms of the pH, you've got the oxidation reduction potential. Okay, and you've got all the antioxidants as well. It produces 7 different types of water. You've got 4 different drinking waters. So you've got the 7, which is for if you're on medication, because the water gets into your system so fast and absorbs so fast. If you're on medication, it's important that you don't have this kind of super absorption, because medication is designed to go into your body at a certain speed. So there's a specific water, 7.5 for that. The normal drinking waters then, for you to have alkaline ionized-based water, 8.5, 9, and 9.5. And then you've got the acidic waters, 2.5 and 11.5. Okay? So that's different waters, which I'm going to explain to you now. Okay. Now, let's look at the drinking waters first, okay? So from the drinking waters, these are some of the benefits that you can get just from the drinking waters. That's the 8.5, 9, and 9.5, because I'm going to cover all different waters. So it's going to increase your hydration, balance body pH, obtain optimal health, neutralize free radicals, reduce pain, and more. So you've got clean, refreshing, and tastes great. So that's what I'm saying to you in terms of how easy it is to drink, okay, which is very, very important. Body balance pH over time, so it's very important for being alkaline and fighting against free radicals. This is where it has so much antioxidants in your body, and an alkaline body says a healthy body, an acidic body is one that will allow diseases to thrive. Powerful antioxidants, we all know about antioxidants, how important they are. Pain makes a huge difference to pain. So if you've got pain on a daily basis, in whatever way, muscle pain, joint pain, stiffness, whatever it might be, it makes a huge difference, because your bones are actually 22% water, I think it is. So the more hydrated they are, again, the better your bones are. Same with your muscles, are 75% water. So it makes a huge difference in terms of mobility, but also flushing out the acidic waste. We have acidic waste whether we exercise or don't exercise, and all the toxins that come into our body. Improves your energy and reduces fatigue, improves overall health, the microclustering, so increased hydration, so it's getting into your system a lot more, detox and cleansing, like I was saying, and neutralizes free radicals. So drinking water makes just a massive, massive difference. Next water I'm going to go through is the 6.0, which is beauty water, as it's called. So this is fantastic for cooking and also from the beauty perspective. Okay, some of the people that are using this in their beauty salons and hair salons are getting unbelievable results. Even for any ladies that are on the call, split ends can become a thing of the past. If you, cover your hair in 6.0 acidic water, your split ends will disappear forever. You know, we've seen this with a number of people in the last couple of months, and women are blown away by it. And this alone has been a selling point for many women, because, you know, I know from my own wife and other women I've been in contact with over my lifetime, you know, that split ends is the bane of their life a lot of the time. And if you can get rid of split ends, it makes a huge difference. Even for myself, you know, for the last 7, maybe 8 months at this stage, as an experiment, I said I wouldn't use any shampoo, conditioner, none of that stuff, and just use beauty water to see the impact. So when I have my shower, and then I come out and I drown my hair in beauty water, and I rub it in and let it dry. And I used to have very dry scalp before, and dandruff, and I haven't had it since. Within a few days of doing this, and that's 8 months ago, and I haven't used a drop of shampoo, yet if you felt my hair right now, you would actually think I washed it this morning with normal shampoo. So it's been amazing that way. Great for your skin, great for blemishes, and if you've got acne, you know, anything like that. Rosacea is another thing. Makes a huge difference to that. Just gives you really smooth, silky skin, and you know, it means you don't have to use any of these toners and moisturizers that, you know, women have spend a fortune on. But even myself, I used to use a particular Nivea one for my skin. I don't use it anymore for at least 9 months now. You know, I have the machine about 12 months. So it makes a huge difference, again, even from an expense point of view. You know, you invest in the machine, but you make a huge saving of what it's saving you. So other things then in cooking, it's fantastic for cooking things like rice and pasta and getting, you know, the nutrients out of food and decrease your cooking time. That's decreasing your electricity usage. So again, another saving. You can also use it to replace fabric conditioners. This leaves your clothes feeling soft and supple as well. Use it for washing your windows and any kind of glass. Okay, so instead of using the usual spray bottles you use, you can use this for that. So again, it's another saving as well. And treating things, any skin conditions like eczema, psoriasis, acne, athlete's foot, nail fungus, insect bites, rashes, itching. Cold sores is really good with. Nappy rash if you've got a baby, any kind of dry skin. You know, it's fantastic in what it does. So that's the beauty water. That alone is worth the investment. It's really amazing what it does. 2.5 strong pH water. Strong acid water, sorry. So this is the best disinfectant sanitizer available, okay? And as it says here, just read out what's on the screen. Killing virus bacteria such as MRSA, Salmonella, spores, E. coli within 30 seconds of contact with zero hazard or environmental impact. That's really important as we need to become more environmentally aware. Beating any chemical-based products on the market. This type of water is recently approved by the FDA and the USDA for food handling and preparation. Restaurants throughout Japan have been using this 2.5 pH water to disinfect and sanitize food, sushi knives, cutting boards, kitchens, and bathrooms. Also, this water is great for conditions such as psoriasis, eczema, dermatitis, acne, any cuts and burns. Whenever you've got a really severe cut or burn or skin condition, this is one to use. If you have a very bad spot like acne, for instance, we treat it with the 2.5 first, and then as it's cooling down and disappearing, that's where the 6.0, the beauty water, could be used a bit more then. Any kind of real stubborn stains, okay? So real stains you can't get up, whether it be on carpet or, you know, tiles or your kitchen counters or your bathroom. Again, 2.5 is wonderful for that. If your pet has fleas or you suspect it might get fleas, spray 2.5 on your pet. It makes a huge difference. If you want to use it, you could use it for spraying, soaking on meat and other produce to eliminate possibility of E. coli or the contamination, reduce strong scent. What other things are there? Any severe stains you've got on cups, like from coffee or tea, again, it clear that as well. It cleans hard water deposits on glass and ceramics. You know, there's many, many different benefits again. Like this again is wonderful. I also use it myself as a mouthwash and also now as my toothpaste. So I don't use toothpaste anymore. I use a 2.5. Put my toothbrush into it, brush away, and then when I finish that I use it like a mouthwash. So put in my mouth, swish around, gargle and spit out. And it's great as well for whitening your teeth. People at the moment are spending thousands on whitening their teeth. Using this water will do it for them as part of the machine. 11.5 water. This is again eco-friendly water. It's great for clearing again tough stains. For all your cleaning, any cleaning you want to do in your kitchen or your bathroom, it's wonderful for it. Your floors even. Start washing your floors with 11.5. They will never be so clean. We've even done this in hotels. Brought in and they might have just been cleaned. We'll put it down and the place gets cleaner. You know, again, seeing is believing with a lot of these things, but you know, all I can do is share the information with you what I've seen with my own eyes. Because like I said at the start, I was very skeptical of this, and I thought this is just another next big thing, just a water ionizer thing, and Kangen itself. But when I saw these things happen for myself, that is what really showed me that this is, the real deal. Cleaning vegetables, amazing. With the way food is treated these days, there's so much rubbish on it, pesticides and chemicals and all kinds of things on them. What you do is you soak your vegetables in 11.5, and when you empty it out, you see the water change its colour, usually to a dark browny, greeny colour, showing all the rubbish that's taken off it. It's like for some of you, you might be allergic to tomatoes, so you think. You're allergic to some of the pesticides that are on it, so by washing them off, you'll be able to eat tomatoes no problem. Because I'd be very near certain that you're not allergic to tomatoes, you're allergic to what's on them. So it makes a huge difference to any of these, any kind of cleaning or soaking of food and cleaning food, and the overall cleaning, it's just wonderful. As well for washing your clothes, instead of throwing into tablets or whatever you use, you can use, throw in a few pints of 11.5 instead, and it does a wonderful job in your clothes. Again, another saving. Another thing it's amazing for is anti-inflammatory. And it's about a year ago, soon after I got my own unit, I was a week away from a 180-kilometer cycle race I was doing, and I went over my ankle playing soccer a week beforehand, and I pretty much couldn't walk, couldn't put any weight on it. I thought, right, I'm out of this race. But I'd heard about the inflammatory benefits, anti-inflammatory benefits of using 11.5 and to wrap it up in the towel and, see how that goes. I said, look, great, seeing is believing again, let's try this and see what happens. So I wrapped up a towel, put it around my ankle, left it up on it as much as I could every day. And on the third day after it happened, I was able to put a little bit of weight on it. Fourth day I walked, reasonably okay. Fifth day, nearly a normal walk. And on the seventh day, I completed the 180-kilometer cycle race, no problem at all in my ankle. So that was pretty amazing. And I've had it now with clients who've had knee injuries and shoulder injuries, and they've, even one particular lady, she'd gone to all kinds of physios and therapists and had all kinds of treatment and spent about $1,000 to $1,500 on all these different therapies and treatments. And I had just gone through this my own experience with my ankle. So what I did is said, look, try this. I'll give you the water and let's see what happens. About halfway through the first day of doing it, she phoned me and says, I can move my arm. I don't feel any pain. 2 days later, total mobility. And since then, she's had full range of movement. No problems. And anytime she has it inflamed any bit again, she puts the 11.5 on, it's gone again in hours. This is after every kind of treatment she could have got before that. And this is what cured it. So again, from an anti-inflammatory point of view, it's really, really amazing. So that's about the various types of waters. I hope that makes sense to you. So you can see now it's a lot more, just go back here, a lot more than just water. Not just drinking water, it's all the other kinds of waters as well. Okay, now what I want to go to finally is, why is this the best unit out there? Like, there's many, many units out there, many different water ionizers, but why Kangen? Why did I get Kangen? Why should you get Kangen? Why shouldn't you get a machine out there that possibly might even be 50% cheaper? Some of them will be that price. But why are they 50% cheaper, and what are they made up of? Why should you still invest in Kangen? Why is Kangen the gold standard? Well, there's lots of stuff that I'm telling you. I'm going to show you now. We've taken apart some of the machines to show you comparison between the Kangen unit and the other units out there. And the first slide I want to show you here is explaining, if you were to go to Google now, you probably will, because most people, when they want to look for more information, whether it's on a webinar like this, or to hear from somebody, or to read it, they Google. We all Google. I do it myself. And when you Google Kangen water doesn't come up first. Why is that? Usually people take whatever comes up first, so oh, that must be the best thing. Like you put in water ionizer, and if another one come up, oh, that must be the best thing. And as it shows here, other companies are appearing in, why is that? Kangen's the best. Why is Kangen not showing up? Well, what's actually happening here is they're using the words Kangen, they're using the words Magic, they're using the words Kangen water, and they're called keywords. And in internet marketing, if you're doing internet marketing, a key strategy to getting high rankings is to use those words, and especially competitors use these words a lot because they're piggybacking on the traffic that the company's getting. So the traffic that Magic's getting and Kangen's getting and Kangen water, these other companies are actually piggybacking it and stealing their traffic pretty much. And that's what's dropped there. So their websites have more about the Kangen and the Magic on it and comparing them to get the rankings. It's using the right words as keywords, okay? So I hope that makes sense to you. So as I said, It's piggybacking on the traffic that Kangen is creating. Now, why do they compare? You know, this is something that happens a lot. It happens in every kind of industry, every kind of product. There's always competitors out there. But like it says here, you know, inferior products always compare to something else, and it's usually to the best thing. If you ever see something being compared to something, it's usually to the best. You know, it's like in different businesses that I've run, you know, we'll always be compared by others, okay, to their own product, but usually because they're inferior to what we offer. We offer the Rolls Royce or Mercedes, they're offering like this, the Kia or the Lada. There's no difference when it comes to a product like Kangen. And it says here, marketing comparisons are used to elevate an inferior product to the level of a superior product. These comparisons are usually very selective features, never of all aspects of the product. And this is what's clever about marketing if it's done correctly. You know, you highlight certain words, and even if they're actually defects and not good things, you make them appear like they're really, really important. And this is what the competitors do out there. The product being compared to is always the best. The product doing the comparing is always inferior. Okay? So it's like if you look at these two cars, Mercedes and inferior, there's a hell of a difference in these two cars, wouldn't you agree? And which one would you go for yourself? Which one is way, way more expensive? And again, why is that? So the difference is basically in what you can't see. And this is very much the case with Kangen, which I'm going to show you the inside of the machine very shortly. So pricing differences even. You know, sometimes people will say, you know, Kangen, it's expensive. Well, you know, compared to what is what I'd say to you. You know, you can't do anything more important than investing in your health and your family. And as I said, it's not even just drinking water. Look at all the other benefits that I've gone through, and that's only a small snippet of the benefits. But pricing differences, again, comes down to the quality of what the machine is made of. And if you can't see the insides of it, you know, it's hard to do the comparison. So I'm going to show you shortly why Kangen is going to be a bit more expensive than its competitors out there. But you've got to look at the different aspects of any business and any product. You've got development and design, research and engineering, manufacturing and materials, components and craftsmanship, product life expectancy, warranty and service, quality and dependability. Okay, look at again the cars, Kia and Mercedes. Look at the development, design, research, engineering, manufacturing, materials, components, craftsmanship, product life expectancy, warranty, service, quality, dependability between these two cars. Wouldn't you agree there's a hell of a difference? Again, that's a big reason why there's a big price difference. And the difference is in what you can't see. Now, if you look at inside, one thing I didn't mention earlier actually was the Kangen machine is made up of 7 platinum grade plates. Now, platinum is a substance that is increasing in value all the time. Okay, and it's a very expensive substance, especially when you compare it to the rubbish mesh that the other units are using, which you can see here. This is one of the competitor units, which they all have. Pretty much they all actually are made in the same factory in those with different companies. And some of the products, one particular company, I'm not going to name the name right now, but creates this product for 50 to 80 euros. That's it, 50 to 80 euros, and then sells it for about 2,000. That's the difference with competitors. This is the difference to comparing with Kangen. Look at the difference in the plates here. Platinum grade plate, 7 of them in the machine. Platinum is an expensive material anyway. And look at the mesh. The mesh is tiny and it's all holes, so the water is going to go through it anyway. So the amount of ionization going on is going to be minimal. So let's say here on the plates, the left one is a magic ionizer, solid plate constructed in a well-crafted housing with built-in electrode connections. Right, the mesh plate with attached, not built-in, the mesh plate sits between a membrane and the electrolysis chamber. Okay, so you know, look at the difference in terms of the electrolysis that can happen in these machines. So you've got a mesh plate versus 7 platinum grade plates in the Kangen unit. Now that alone, if we're looking at a comparison, that should do it for you. That should sell it for you in terms of there's no comparison. But this is one of the first things that I saw when I really looked into it, and that did it for me. Look at the hoses even. Large hoses from the SD501, which is the Kangen unit, they allow for maximum water flow. Look at the hoses from the other ionizers. And as I said, they're all pretty much the same because most of them are produced in the same company, same factories, and some of them are resellers. Some of them don't even make their own parts. Some of them make parts and then sell it to other companies. This thing with the other ionizer companies, you know, you're not hearing of this. You don't see behind the scenes. All you see is the unit they're producing and the claims they're making. The smaller hoses are from other ionizers. They're used to restrict the physical amount of water in the machine. Now, why would you think that is? It's because it can't cope with it. It can't cope with a lot of water being passed through. Whereas the flow, like I don't have the exact figures here, but they can be seen on different websites. The difference in the flow between the Kangen and the other ionizers is pretty amazing. There's a huge amount of flow capability with the Kangen, but especially look at the size of the hoses. That's the big and small hose for both machines. Huge, huge difference. Okay, plus the Kangen won't be left on all day and the water's going to keep flowing, and it's designed for that. So that's the hoses. Let's look at the quality of the hose. Look at the SD501. Highest quality materials, braided internal liner. Hoses from other ionizers are made out of the lowest quality and least expensive materials available. Okay, this is why they can be cheaper. At the end of the day, products have to be made, and products have a certain cost. And if a product is really cheap, there's a reason. They're not like if it costs the same to create. We pick one type ionizer versus a Kangen ionizer. There's no way there can be such a price difference. The reason for the price difference is the quality of the components, which you can see here. You're seeing in front of your own eyes here, and these are real pictures. Here's the big one though, okay? We're talking about alkaline ionizers, okay, water ionizers. So you're really buying into getting an ionizer. That's really what you want. That's what you want from the machine. The benefit of all these ionizers, here's One Life ionizer. It's on about it uses advanced SMPS power system. Okay, this is the power source. And it claims that Magic Kangen uses old-fashioned transformers. This is what I'm saying. It uses something that's a negative and actually a default and not a good part of the makeup of the machine, and it creates as if it's a positive with like advanced power system versus old-fashioned transformers. I showed you the difference with the plates and everything for the Kangen. Power system, the Kangen uses the old-fashioned transformer, Life ionizer uses the SMPS power system. This is actually the same system as high-definition televisions. Okay? So they claim that what this does is it gives you higher pH and ORP, which the antioxidants, runs cooler and lasts twice as long. Okay? Now, this is promoted as a major benefit. Features sold as a benefit, is it really? Now, this is the reality of the whole AES system. With a standard transformer like an electric use, the power is constantly flowing. Like I said, it can be left on all the time. Okay, you can leave it on 24/7. That's what it's designed for. It's designed to constantly provide you the water. So constantly flowing, providing a consistent, steady electrical charge, which is what is necessary to transform enough energy to accomplish stable ionization microclustering. Okay, so you have to be constantly electrically charged, or it's not ionized. SMPS regulates voltage by turning the flow of electricity on and off at extremely high rates of speed. The power supply is at full off approximately half the time during ionization to protect the mesh plates from overheating and melting. You saw how thin they were, okay? So if it actually was running all the time like a Magic machine does, they would actually melt. An ionizer with SMPS runs for 4 minutes. Approximately 2 minutes of that time will be with no electric current being sent to the plates. So again, you're not getting full ionized water. Half the time it's ionized, half the time it's not. Okay? So again, the question you have to ask yourself is how much of the water is actually being ionized? So this is such a huge, huge difference between the two. I've showed you in terms of the plates and the platinum grade plates versus the mesh. I've showed you the hoses. I've showed you the quality of hoses. But this is the biggie. This is the ionization. This is what you're paying for. This is what you really want or getting interested in investing in, an ionizer. If it's not being ionized, you're being fooled, you're being duped, and this is what these companies are doing. And I've told you they're creating their machines for even 50 or 80 euros. Okay? Whereas the platinum grade plates would cost a huge amount more than that. So the bottom line is there is no other option. I would not invest in anything unless I thoroughly had looked into it and researched it and looked at everything that's out there. And I certainly would not invest unless it's going to be beneficial for me and my family and my clients. And for the last 12 months, as I shared at the start, this has without doubt been the #1 investment I've ever made in my family, myself, and my clients. I've shared a number of different stories of my own personal experience using the machine, and I can only say it's an unbelievable investment, and especially for it's much more than just than drinking water. Look at the 7 different types of water I shared with you. Look at what it can do. Look at what it can replace in terms of moisturizers, toners, all your cleaning materials, mouthwashes, toothpaste. If you've got inflammation, got injuries, instead of going to physios, you could use this instead. That's what I've done. That's what I like to do. There's just so many benefits. Washing the rubbish and pesticides and all off your vegetables, making them last longer, making them taste much better, and giving you better nutrition. So it is a no-brainer. If you'd like more information on this, if you'd like to speak to me directly and arrange a one-to-one call, or if you'd like to actually place an order for your own particular unit, I'd like to send you some information via email. These are the details to contact us on. So again, my name is Dave Sheehan. You can phone a plus, that's the international code 353-617-48776. If you don't get an answer, just leave a message and we get back to you. Just leave your name and number and detailed message. You can catch me on Skype at dave.sheehan2. You can email askdaveaboutkangen@gmail.com, or catch me on Facebook, send me a message, facebook.com Dave Sheehan FB. And also I've got a website that we're designing. If you want to check that out for a lot of information on even celebrities and high-profile people who are using the machine, and some webinar recordings and so on as well, www.kangenwateristhebestalkalinewater.com. I want to thank you for taking the time, because your time is valuable and everyone's time is precious and valuable. I want to thank you for taking the time to actually watch this and attend, and for your attention. And I just want to leave you with saying, you've hard-earned money there. You're considering investing in an ionizer. Make sure you make the right decision, because I know of many people who've made the wrong decision and invested in the substandard ionizers, the like of which I've shown you pictures of throughout this presentation, and it's been a big mistake. And they've ended up having to invest in the Kangen unit anyway, because once they looked into it more and as they met more people who were using it, or they saw more videos or websites, they actually realized this is actually what they say it is. This is actually the gold standard machine. So, be very careful, be very wise about the decision you make. And, I'm very happy to speak to you and speak a bit more in depth about the Kangen machine and answer the questions you may have. So contact us in some form, phone, Skype, email, or Facebook. Check out our website and make sure you improve your health and you invest in you. There's no bigger investment than investing in yourself and your family. And if you are a person who deals with clients or patients, again, they deserve it. It's an incredible addition to your service. So this is Dave Sheehan, High Performance Coach and founder of Formula for Success. Thanking you again for your time. I look forward to speaking to you in the near future. Again, contact us at any of the other, or any of these